sunod na lang. Medyo nakakaantok yung oras.
Ha?
We will be continuing our lesson on Doctrine Class about the Revelation. But before we continue, I would like to ask you, because of this Doctrine Class, what is our last topic? I was not here this time. But what is our last topic this week? Anybody? About the beast. Okay. So we already explained about the beast, the Antichrist. Okay, so this is the continuation of the study about the Antichrist. If you have Bible, you just open on Revelation chapter 13. We will be studying chapter 13 from 11 to verse 11 to verse 18. So as we study Revelation, I know it is already halfway of our study in Revelation, and I think you have already learned much about Revelation. Okay? So, the book of Revelation is hard to understand, but if you study about the book, you will be enlightened and you will be amazed of what is happening around us. You can relate the things that are happening around us when you read about the book of Revelation. So it is today our privilege to study about Revelation chapter 13. And Revelation chapter 13 is talking about the beast that was on the first 1 to 12. You can read about, study about the dragon and about the false prophet. They will make war and conquered saints for 42 months. There are 2 witnesses that will be there during the 3.5 years during this time. It also talks about the earth worship of the beast and the image of the beast, the mark of the beast, and also here is calling for endurance and faith of the saints. During this time, salvation will cost you your head. You will be martyrs during the time. So when you study about the Revelation chapter 13, it will be talking about these things, and mostly the main topic there are the 3 beasts. The 3 beasts in the Revelation that you can see. Now, the Revelation chapter study will be divided in each chapter so that you will more understand about the Revelation. Each chapter has a topic, and we are now, you finished already 1 to 12 chapters. And the last is the woman in the wilderness, and the first topic here on the verse 13 is about the beast. We will be talking about the chapter 13 about the beast, the leopard-like beast, the two-horned beast, and the image of the beast. So this is one of the most important topic that we'll be talking about. So in Revelation 13, 1 to 3, we will be reading chapter 1 to 18, And we will be standing. Let us all stand. We will read 1 to 18 responsibly. I'll be reading 11. You will be reading 12, and we will read together verse 18. Verse 11 says, "And behold, another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, because of the earth and so that he may worship the first beast, whose name was with.
Verse 13, "And he goeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men."
And he said men that dwell on the earth, and the means of those miracles which he had power to do beside the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image of the beast, which had a wood and a sword, and did live.
Verse 15 together. "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause the enemy to worship and should be killed." Let us pray. Lord God from heaven, we thank you, Lord, for the privilege of us, Lord, to study the words, Lord. Lord God from heaven, I pray, Lord, that you open our hearts, help us, Lord, to understand the words, Lord, this afternoon. And I pray, Lord, that you, Holy Spirit, God, that you be with us, Lord, and help us, Lord, to know, Lord, the things, Lord, in revelation, Lord. Thank you for your love. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. You all see that. So it is very important that you understand the study about the Antichrist, or the first beast, because our study will be, is just a supporting actor to the beast. He is called that is the another beast of the Revelation. When you see it in verse 11, it says, "And beheld another beast." So the first beast was already in chapter in verse 1 to 12 was explained, 1 to 10. And in verse 11 it said, "Another beast coming out of the earth." So the first beast came out from where? From the sea. Okay? And this second beast came out from the earth. So it is very important. And this second beast, we will be studying about it. And this second beast had 2 horns like a lamb, and he speak as a dragon. So he has 2 horns as a lamb, but he speaks like a dragon, referring to Satan. Okay, so we will be studying about this thing. So again, I will show you the dragon, the beast, which is Satan. The sea beast, that is the first beast that you have seen. And you have the land beast, or the one that we will be studying. So there are 3 beasts that you need to understand there. But I will be only explaining about the land beast, okay? The third beast that in Revelation chapter 13. So number 1, about this beast, we will be knowing the description of the false prophet. The description of the false prophet. So the third beast, that is the land-based beast, it is called the false prophet. The false prophet. So there are things that we need to understand about the land beast, the false prophet. The land beast comes out of the earth. He has 2 horns like a lamb, but he speaks like a dragon. That is in verse 11. Another thing that we need to understand, he causes those on the earth to worship the sea beast. So he is the one that caused them to worship the sea beast. That is on verse 12 and 15. He is later called the false prophet that was referred on chapter 16, 13, 19, 20, and 2010. He is the false prophet. He compels all to receive a mark on their hand or forehead in order to buy and sell. So this false prophet is the enforcer of the law that needs to apply to everybody. So the beast will command, and the false prophet is the one that compels them, that force them to follow, to do what the Antichrist want them to do. And the number of the beast, we can see that is 666, that is the imperfect deity. He represents the false religion and the emperor worship of the Roman Empire. So they will go back to the original state of this Roman Empire worship. That they worship the emperor, the one, the king, not God. So they were imposed to states during the tribulation time. So this is the description, and we will take two main description of the beast. Letter A, we can see that the false prophet disguised as God's prophet, a counterfeit of God's two witnesses. The false prophet will disguise as God's prophet, or they will fool people, or they will let them believe that they are the prophet from God, but they are the counterfeit of the two witnesses. There are two witnesses that God will send. I think this was already discussed. So these two witnesses will be there during the reign of the Antichrist. So you can see that the Antichrist, the false prophet, is like a wolf on a sheep clothing. He resembles a lamb, but indeed he played the part of the dragon, the wolf in sheep's clothing in Matthew 7:15. Also, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. 2 Corinthians 11:14. They can change image. They have the power of doing those things, and deceive people to worship the beast and not the true God. So during the tribulation, the first 3.5 years, there will be two witnesses during the time, and they will be preaching about salvation. Then the false prophet is the one that will block their ministry. They will hinder the ministry of these two prophets, of two witnesses, and he will fool those people to believe him rather than the two witnesses of God. They will be a counterfeit of God's two witnesses. In Revelation 11, verse 3 said, "And I will give power unto my two witnesses." These two witnesses is also power that was given by God. "And they shall prophesy," what? 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. Meaning, these two witnesses will prophesy for 3.5 years. That is 1,260 days. So during the time when they prophesy, the false prophet will hinder their ministry during the time. Letter B, you can find the prophet the false prophet completes Satan counterfeit of satanic trinity. So the last the last the last the last part of the satanic trinity is the false prophet. You can see here that there are also satanic trinity. First, the dragon that was represented by the by Satan. It is the anti-God. Or you can read in Revelation 12:9, and the great dragon was cast out, the old serpent called the devil, Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angel was cast out with him. So the dragon was anti-God. You can see the beast. The beast is anti-Christ. Or you can read that one in Revelation 13:4. It said, and they worship the dragon, which give power unto the beast. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. So you have the dragon, you have the beast, or the Antichrist, and the third is the false prophet. I said, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And 13 verse 11, he is called the another beast, or the false prophet. So you can find the satanic trinity that works during the tribulation. You have the Satan himself as the great dragon, or the dragon. You have the beast, or the Antichrist, and you have the false prophet. And these three works together during the tribulation area, the tribulation time. So he is the last thing that completes the satanic trinity, the false prophet. So you can see the three beasts there. That is the Trinity, satanic Trinity, the dragon. The sea beast is the false, that is the Antichrist, and the land beast is the false prophet. And their final destiny, you can read also the three of them has a final destiny. That is on Revelation 20:10, said, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire, wind and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. So the final destiny of the satanic trinity will be where? In the lake of fire. This will be the final destiny of the satanic trinity. But before they will be cast into the lake of fire, they will send also people going to the lake of fire. They will deceive people during the time. So that's why during the tribulation, it's very difficult to be saved. If you decided to receive Christ as your personal Savior, you need to be ready, because your head will be cut off. That is because there is no more grace during the time. So if you decided to receive Christ as your personal Savior, if you follow Christ, then you need to prove that you will die for it. Also, it is very difficult, and if you wish to get, you just wait for tribulation, and you say, I will receive Christ as my Savior, and during the tribulation, it will be very, very difficult. Or maybe you will be lost forever. So, if you are not saved, you need to receive Christ as your personal Savior now. Because we are now under the grace period. Number 2 is the deeds of the false prophet. The deeds of the false prophet. What is the false prophet doing? What are the things that the false prophet do? Letter A, the false prophet deceive people to worship the beast. He will deceive people to worship the beast. In Revelation 13:12, it said, and he exercised all power of the first beast before him. So, whatever the power that the first beast has, he has the same power also. He exercises all the power. See, you can see that word, all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to what? Worship the first beast. So the point of worship is the beast or the Antichrist. But who forced them to worship Antichrist is the false prophet. It is the false prophet whose deadly one was healed. 13, he said, and he goeth and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire coming down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. This false prophet also has a power. His power came from Satan. That he can imitate the power of the two witnesses also. So the people will be confused. Because the false prophet will hinder their ministry during that time. The false prophet will have the ability to perform great wonders, even the ability to call fire down from heaven. In Matthew 24, verse 24, it said, for there shall arise false Christ, false prophets, and shall grow great signs and wonders, and so much that if were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. They will deceive the very elect. You know, not only people that is Gentiles, but also the Jews, they also be deceived by this false prophet. Because he will have the ability to call fire from heaven. He can bring fire from heaven. And those things, the Jews knows that those things, that ability, only God can perform those things. Why? Because the ability to call fire from heaven is a miracle of divine significance to the Jews. You can see Sodom and Gomorrah. Who did it? God. You can see Elijah and Baal's prophet. Elijah prayed and fire came from heaven. You can see when the Israelites journey in the wilderness, you can see the pillar of fire coming from heaven. And who is that? That is God. So in the mind of the Jews, these things came from God. That's why the false prophet perform these great wonders, so that he can fool the very elect. That's why it is recorded in Matthew 24 that he said, they shall deceive the very elect. Even the Jews can be deceived by that power that was given to the false prophet. And letter B, the false prophet will hinder and deceive people to hear the message of two witnesses by duplicating their powers. They will duplicate the powers of the two witnesses. What is the powers of these two witnesses? They have Revelation 11:5, he said, 11:5, and if any man will hurt them, fire proceed out of their mouth, and devour their enemies. And if any man will hurt them, he must in this manner be killed. They have power to shut the heaven, that it rain not in the days of their prophecy, and have power over waters to turn them to blood, and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they will. See? This false prophet will try to imitate the power. Did you remember that the magician in Egypt also imitate the power of Moses during the time? The same thing with this false prophet, so that people will be deceived, and it will be hindered to believe and to hear the two witnesses that God sent to them. It will give them strong delusion, because the false prophet will give those things to them, and it's very hard for them to believe which one is the true and which one is false. So this is what the false prophet will be doing, the deeds of the false prophet. Next, the deception of the false prophet. How he will fool those people. The deception of the false prophet, that is in verse 14 now. The false prophet will have the credit by healing the Antichrist. Remember that the Antichrist was wounded, and his wound is like he will die on his wound. But in Revelation 13:14, it says, and deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. So this false prophet will make like a miracle that he will heal the wound of the Antichrist, and people it will be seen all over the world. It will be telecast all over the world, and people will see this false prophet. He is healing the wounds of the Antichrist, and you know the world here is already prepared for that. People are seeing people that heals. He can make the lame walk. He can make the blind see. He can heal those sickness of people. And just like how the false prophet will fool the people just now, he will fool the people during the time. He will make believe that the wounds of this the wound of the Antichrist is very deadly, and he can heal him. How they will do the tricks or the miracles, well, we don't know. But they will fool by this means. He said, the Bible said, and deceived them that dwells on the earth by the means of those miracles. But not actually miracle that the same God is doing. Their miracle is just like magic, like a sorceress. They black magic, so they are doing those things, and they will be fooling people, and they will be deceiving people. They will see that the false prophet has the power to heal. So they will give credit to the false prophet for that. And letter B, false prophet has the power to control the world by the new world order. The false prophet has the power to control the world by the new world order. Now, the world is already inclining to these things, the new world order. But during the time, the false prophet will have the full control. The Antichrist will lead, but the false prophet will lead. He will control for the Antichrist. So the false prophet has the power to control the world by new world order. What is this new world order? The goal of the new world order is, number one, the one world government. The one world government we already started, and it is not new. It is already old. And this one will go through the tribulation. We have now the United Nations. One world leader. Now the world is posing to unite everybody and make one world leader. And they are exercising it right now by the what? With the United Nations. The United Nations, they unite and they have one leader. One leader. And also one world religion. Now we can see all the religion is uniting. Why? Because this is the thing that the false prophet will be controlling later on. And we have the one world currency. What is that? Bitcoin? Exercising. Number one, we need to understand, we need to see the one world leader, that is the United Nations. In Revelation 13, verse 7, it says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. He will rule the world. He will make one nation. He become the leader. Now the United Nations is the same aim, that he will unite all nations. And we have one government. The United Nations stood as also a government. The police, the national police, they watch over everybody, every nation. In Revelation 13 verse 2, he said, and the beast which I saw was like unto the leopard, and his feet were as the feet of the bear, and his mouth the mouth of the lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. So the Antichrist will sit, and he has the great authority, and he will govern the world. Who will lead him to that position? It is the false prophet. And we have the one world religion. A one world religion now is we can see it right in front of our eyes, that all these things are happening. In Revelation 13 verse 8 is that, and all dwell upon the earth shall worship him. He will be the center of the worship, whose names are not written in the book of life, and of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. He will cause everyone to worship him, and it will lead to one world religion and one world currency. And Revelation 13, 16, 17 is said, and he caused it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. Free and bond. Verse 16 to 17 said, free and bond to receive the mark of the right hand and on their forehead, and no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark of the beast, name of the beast, or the number of his name. So there are two things: the mark of the beast or the number of his name. Will be used either the name of the beast or the number of his name. So there we will have a one currency. The world will have a united future world currency. So the world is already going through those things, and that will be controlled by the false prophet. So number 4, the dominion. The last. Number 4, the dominion of the false prophet. Domination, sorry. The domination. Not domination. The domination of the false prophet. Letter A, false prophet has the power to kill all non-worshipper and to receive the mark of the beast. He has the power to kill all non-worshippers and to receive the mark of the beast. In Revelation 13, 16, 18, and he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the name of the beast and the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him understand, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666. So the false prophet is the one that will order people to be killed. If you refuse to receive the mark, then you receive the Lord Jesus Christ, then your head will be cut. That is during the tribulation. Letter B, false prophet will use advanced technology to track people without the mark of the beast. So we are now using advanced technology. Maybe it will be more advanced, but we have already advanced technology. The image of the beast. We don't know how the image of the beast will be, but the image of the beast will be advanced technology, I believe. Now we have the 5G that you cannot hide. You will be located everywhere. So, in Revelation 13:15, he said, and he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So I think the image of the beast is the Android or it's on your cell phone. Oh, humanoid. But this is now the army of the beast, of the Antichrist. So there will be people will be trapped. Now the world is already on that position. The 5G technology, you cannot hide. If you have the cell phone, you will be trapped. So you need to get rid of your cell phone. Don't use cell phone.
Kaso, without cellphone, you cannot do it.
So we need to understand that the Antichrist is riding on the white horse. So when the first seal when the first seal shows, the Antichrist also will come also, and together with the false prophet. So the first horse will come is the Antichrist on the white horse. So this is the first horse that will be ridden by the Antichrist. So in Revelation 6:2 it said, and I saw that when the Lamb opened one of the seals, I heard as it were the noise of the thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see. And I saw, behold, the white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So that's why he will conquer, he will reign. He will reign, he will be the king. But you notice his bow without an arrow. So he will conquer peacefully. But he will reign. That's why we need to understand that the first horse that will come is the white horse, will give peace, peaceful conquer, and false peace, and that is the Antichrist. I just want you to see the layout here. We are now on the church age. And we are here. Then after that we have the rapture of the saints. We have the rapture of the church. Then right after the rapture is the 7 years tribulation. The 7 years tribulation is divided into 2, 3.5 years, and 3.5 years. The start of the 7 years tribulation is the rebuilding of the temple. So when the temple is start to rebuild, it is just the it will not take time, no? The rebuilding of the temple may be months only. Then we will know that the first horse will come, and that is the Antichrist. So the first 3.5 years will be reigned by the Antichrist in the white horse. You will be riding in the white horse, and he will bring world peace. The Antichrist will reign during the 3.5 years. And you have the great tribulation, you have the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet reigning during the time. So you can see that the forming of the United Nations, because they have they will bring world peace. They have the one world government, they have the one world leader, one world currency, and one world religion. And the Antichrist will leave. In Revelation 13:4 said, and they worship the dragon, and which give power to the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Verse 5 said, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy, and the power was given unto him to continue 42 months. That is, for 3.5 years, he will reign peacefully. He will reign peacefully. And during the time, Daniel 7:25 said, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints and the Most High. Also, it was mentioned here at time and times and dividing of times. It refers also for 3.5 years. So the Antichrist will reign peacefully for 3.5 years. And Revelation 13, verse 13, it says here that the great wonders, fire came from him, and he will deceive them. And also there is the one world religion is forming also. So this is the false prophet. The will lead also will help the help the Antichrist. And we have the two witnesses. And I will give power unto my two witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days cloth and sackcloth. During the time, the 3.5 years, when the Antichrist rule peacefully, the two witnesses also will be there, and they will die after the 3.5 years, which will be the 144,000 Jews will continue their works later on. And in Revelation 11:5, this is the thing that they have the power that fire proceeded out of their mouth. And in the midst of the 3.5 years, the Antichrist shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease. So in the midst of the 3.5 years, the Antichrist will break the covenant. I will stop here I just want you to see only how the 3.5 years will be fulfilled during that time. So the complete will be here. This is the complete. So 3.5 years will be the tribulation, and 3.5 years. The second to 7 seals will be open, and the rest will be open with 144,000 Jews will be there. So the aim is of the earth will be like this during the 3.5 years. There will be wars, famine, pestilence, wild beasts, great earthquake. There will be tsunamis, eruption, and all the seven thunders. And we have the bowls. We have all the pestilence and all the thing will be. So the image of the world will be like this during the 3.5 years, the rest 3.5 years. And if you are there and you want to be saved, it's impossible. You may die before you get saved. Okay, so we will be ending our slide here. Or to let us pray, Lord God, for now, and we thank you for the privilege. Thank you for your love and your
Thank you so much, Brother Joecil. Can you show us yung chapter by chapter, Brad? Yung chapter by chapter, yung una kanilang slide. This is very interesting, okay? Yung pinakaunang slide. That one. Okay, so chapter 1 of Revelation is the introduction. This prophecy is, kanino galing to? This prophecy is from, kanino? Ano sabi ng Bible dyan? The revelation, this revelation was from God. It was God the Father. It was given to His Son, and it was handed to the angel to pass on to John. Okay? And so John was commanded to write the things which he saw, the things he was seeing, and then the things he was yet to see. Okay? So that's chapter 1. Chapter 2 and 3 are these letters to the 7 churches. Can you still name those churches? In any order? Ephesus, Smyrna, Sardis, Laodicea, Pergamos, and Thyatira, and Philadelphia. Okay, good. Those are the 7 churches. And it has meaning. Chapter 4 is about the... what happened in chapter 4? John was
Taken up.
taken up. Okay, he was caught up. And he saw the thrones. And chapter 5 is about the small what? Book. And no one was worthy to open except who? The slain lamb who was? Sino yung slain na lamb? The Lord Jesus Christ. That's actually the title deed. Okay? That's very important chapter to understand. Chapter 6 is about the 7 seals. The first seal was opened. What did he saw? A white horse. The second horse was red horse, which means war. And then the third horse was black, which means famine. And then the fourth horse was pale, which is a symbol of death. And then the fifth seal was murders of martyrs. Okay? And then the sixth seal was great earthquake. Every island and every mountain would move out of their places. And then under the seventh seal, ano lumabas? The 7 trumpet judgments. Okay? So chapter 7 is about the 144, it's about a revival. Remnant. How many Jews were saved? Were sealed? From which tribe? 12 tribes except the tribe of? Yeah, except the tribe of Dan. Dan's tribe was not included. Okay? Wala. And whose tribe was divided into 2? Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh. How many? So 144,000 Jews were sealed. What about Gentiles? How many Gentiles? Unnumbered. Okay, which no one could number, the Bible says. In chapter 7 and chapter 8, no, chapter 8 and chapter 9, you have the 7 trumpet judgments. When the first trumpet was blown, what happened? Anong mangyari doon? Kalimutan na.
Silence.
Vegetation struck.
Sigurado kayo? 1/3 of all trees and all grasses were burned. When the second trumpet was blown, ano nangyari? 1/3 part of the sea became blood. When the third trumpet was blown, 1/3 part of the fresh water was poisoned. It became wormwood. Many people died. And then under the Fourth trumpet, one-third part of the sun, the moon, the stars were smitten. Fifth trumpet, okay, demonic creatures tortured those that did not have the seal of God for how long? 5 months. Or, okay, yes, 5 months. And then the sixth trumpet, ano nangyari? 200 million armies, Mars. The Euphrates River was dried up and 200 million armies will cross and they will kill how many? One-third part of the world's population. Okay. And then when this seventh trumpet was blown, there came forth 7 bowl judgments. 7 vials or 7 bowls. And we have not studied that yet. Chapter 10 is about the little book. Chapter 11 is about the 2 witnesses. Who is one of them? Elijah. Who is the other one? We do not know. But it could be either Moses or... But the Bible didn't say, okay? So hanggang dyan lang tayo. They will be preaching for how long? 3.5 years. Will anybody able to withstand them? No. At the end of 3.5 years, what will happen to them? Their bodies will remain in the streets for how long? 3.5 days. Okay, and then after 3.5 days, they will hear a voice from heaven, and then they will be taken up. Chapter 12 is the woman. Who is the woman? Israel. Who is the man-child? Okay, the Lord Jesus Christ. And who is the dragon? Okay, and he will persecute the woman for how long? 3.5 years. Will that be the first 3.5 years or second 3.5 years? The second 3.5 years. There was also war in heaven between whom? Michael the archangel against the... Who was defeated? He was cast upon the earth, and he was with great fears because he knows that he has but a short time. Okay? So chapter 13 is about the who is the dragon in the trinity of the devil. He is the devil, and who is the beast? The Antichrist, and who is the false prophet? He is the great religious leader. Next week we will study Revelation chapter 14. Brother Joecil was already discussing about one world government, one world leader, one world currency, and one world religion. In the book of Revelation, that is called Babylon. You have political Babylon, one world government with a leader, and then you have commercial Babylon, that is one world currency, and then you have ecclesiastical Babylon, which is a religious Babylon. All those Babylons will be destroyed when we come to Revelation chapter 18. Okay, you're good? It's good you're learning something from the book of Revelation. Okay, we will review this every weekend.